Good evening. Welcome to Astrology Throwdown tonight. So glad to have you here. What do we do every night? We obsess about Napoleon and we find out new things about him. How are we still finding out new things about Napoleon? Because I'm proving every single day that he is living among us. Unbelievable. But we're proving it. And I've been going through his incomplete chart. Why is it incomplete? Because I don't have a verified birth time, but we do have a lot of totally accurate information. And I have looked at his chart before, but really studying it and examining it and looking at it from every angle is telling me things that I hadn't seen before. I put the information up on my astrology report on the blog. So if you want to follow along with what I'm saying, it's there. Okay. And I like to illustrate things as much as possible. I like to write them out because I'm obviously making this up as I go along. Not that it's not true, but this is extemporaneous and I ramble. I'm doing my best. Obviously, I don't have the time to script this in any way. So I just show up and ramble, and that's where it's all organized. And I'm showing you my work, where I'm getting it from. And if I put it up, I really don't know who wrote that. Sometimes it doesn't look totally congruent. The person's name is like Becky, and I could tell they're not native English speakers, kind of thing. So beware always, everything on the internet. Some of them are good, but if if the story's not congruent, watch out. If it's Becky, but it doesn't sound like a native English speaker, uh-oh. So I notice a lot of things like that. Sites that just popped up in the last year or something that just so happens to be, emulating my content, but they have a lot more money to put it into it than I do. So these sites might not be all that great if you get involved with them, but the information that they're putting out, I find to be very accurate. So I'm still using it, even though I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I should endorse these people. I don't know if they're good or not, and maybe they are good. Please, 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 please don't get involved with anything because it makes me nervous. I don't want people to get involved with charlatans because they saw them on my blog. That's really what I'm saying. So be really careful not to let that happen because the information that they're putting out is accurate. Capricorn is Capricorn, Saturn is Saturn, and to hear some kind of perspective, even if it is from a charlatan, they still might know about astrology because astrology is a great way to read people. If I were a charlatan, I would want to learn astrology and then read people's charts, and I would know how to get to them. Astrology is real. I am utterly convinced. And because I'm convinced, for so long, I was like, oh, we can't be real. But it is. How can astrology be real? I can't believe all these things that are happening, but they are happening. And I do go with the congruent story. What I learned today, studying Cohen's incomplete chart, he has more future in him. I think he has a lot of future in him, if that's possible. I hope so, because I see a great destiny and he has not fulfilled it yet. He's a fantastic um, artist. I mean, obviously he's an artist. That's what I would call him, but it's incredible what I saw in the chart. And then I compared it to Napoleon's chart. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is wild. He's like stronger than Napoleon, um, kind of by a lot, but he needs support. That he it's so obvious. I keep talking about how Cohen's chart has a number of stelliums, and when the stelliums come together, I said that wrong. Okay. A stellium is an alignment of 3 or more planets in one constellation. There's some debate about it. But in this case, when I say stellium, I mean a grouping of planets of at least 3. okay? Only one of them, I think, really fits the narrow definition, and it's the stellium that Cohen has in Cancer. So you can look at the chart and follow along. If you want to understand what I'm saying with the visual, I know that's really important to like look at it and put it together. And astrology is a whole new world. And I think it's so beneficial for us to become very familiar with these concepts because astrology is about energy and our lives are about energy. And if we can learn how to handle energy, move energy around, um, we can improve, we can take charge of our lives, we can fight back, we can say, no, you can't do that to us because we will know our power. I think that's why they keep astrology all for themselves and then put up a little clown show for us. It's a little astrology clown show that we get in the National Choir or whatever media that they feed us. It's ridiculous. They know astrology is real. They know they're tricking us about it. And then when I showed that it was real, what did they do? Oh, they flooded the internet and got in front of it. Ah, you see, you see. It's so obvious. And the funny thing is, um, my enemies are so reactive and they're so rich and they have so much staff and they have so much time to just sit and watch things and worry because they don't really do anything except manipulate and control. Wow, I'm back on this topic again. Anyway, so once they realized astrology's out. They were like, "We have to get in front of it," and they did. They did get in front of it, and now the internet is just so full of pretty good astrology information. Thank you so much, my enemies. We really wanted that information, and it was a little thin, so I'm going to use it, but don't get in trouble with this, okay? That's why I warn you about it. I saw them flood the internet with pretty good astrology information. I felt it was to flood my workout when I proved that astrology was true. Does that make sense? Okay, so they believe in astrology, derive their power from it. They feed us garbage and make astrology look like it's nonsense, and then we just ignore it like it's right in front of us. They're hiding it in plain sight, and then I proved that it's totally true and people believed me, and then they got in front of it and flooded the internet and said, oh yeah, astrology is totally real. That all happened right in front of your face in the last couple of years. So many things like that. And then I watched them, react and damage control and flood me out. And they do all of these things. It's like, you're just proving me right. You're just helping me. Anyway, it's so funny the way they do that. That's the content of our molesta groups. We like just laugh at the strategies. They only have a few, and they have all that money and they have all that staff, but they don't really have that many new tricks. So we just watch them recycle the tricks. Oh, there they go again. There they go again. There they go again. Just don't believe them. And when they they say it's for your own good, it means it's not for your own good. Okay, so what they say is you put the opposite. When they go, it's for your own good. It's just change it to it's not for your own good. And then you know what the truth is. It's really cool how easy it is to find out the truth from them if you just opposite. Anyway, I have to I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of living under the rule. I can't even express how tired I am with the lies and the tricks and the PR games and everything. And if we get together and if we decide we're going to get free, we're going to get free because we don't have to deal with anyone that we don't want to deal with if we unite. Okay, I just want to throw that in there. Anyway, so what hope do we have against such wealthy enemies who have so much staff and so much time in their hands to control and manipulate? What can we do? Maybe we can find Napoleon and see if Napoleon will be willing to help us. And can we bust Napoleon out of the trap he's in? Obvious what's going on. Oh my goodness, it's painful. Gotta bust him out. Gotta bust me out. Then we'll bust you out. Okay, let's bust each other out. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you love to bust each other out? We could have fun again. Ever. Did we ever have fun? Let's start having fun. We could start having fun now. Wouldn't that be great? Anyway, so I'm trying to show you that there is hope. Okay, I'm gonna skip today's astrology moments because there's nothing too much happening that's different today. But I did write out the kind of wonderful things that we could do with the energy that is available to us, and it is accurate. So you can look over that. I mentioned that this is a good time for devotion, and that devotion would be in the area of technology and philanthropy and the people. We have a really good almost alignment between Vesta and Saturn. And Vesta is an asteroid and it is associated with love and devotion. And to combine that with Saturn, that's for everlasting devotion. So we have that energy, and we have between the moon and Mars, we have a lot of enthusiasm. So check that out if you want. Okay, let me tell you, I'm burying the lead. I'm going to get to this incredible thing that I found out about Cohen's chart. Not that I didn't know, but I can see he's like super, super, super powerful in certain areas. And then there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. So this is, oh my goodness, such a need for support. And we're going to support him and we're going to make this happen. There's no way he can do anything without a lot of support. He needs it. But if he gets it, and he will, he is going to blow us away even more than he's been doing. First, his whole career. Second, the last couple years. Who expected this new version of him? I was thrilled. I was like, whoa, this is great. I love the new one. The new one's great. Anyway, such a different version and just really great. So, he's very transformative, and he has Pluto conjunct aligned with the sun and Uranus. So super genius, super famous, super powerful, and transformative. Like the most ridiculous stellium ever. Napoleon didn't have that. He's this is a stronger chart than Napoleon's. I can't believe it. But Napoleon's has its lucky spots, but you can see the reversal of fortune in it, and you can see the terrible problems he had with media. It was media that brought him down. Look at this freaking enemy and how they can use the media and destroy the world with the media because they used the media in the same way against Napoleon. And Napoleon was such a great populist, and they found a way to get the people to hate their best friend. That's what they do. That's how our enemies do it. Our enemies really fight on a media like sorcery level, and it's in Napoleon's chart that he was defeated by Mercury problems, which is basically media problems. It's incredible. He was defeated by the media. Oh, my mother's killed by the media. This media is a very dangerous weapon, and look at what they've done to the world over the last 2 years, only with media lying. And then they buy the governments and get the stooges who are openly criminals. Okay, the president of the United States is not in any way free of crime, right? Okay. And then the other one was also in no way free of crime. These are openly criminal people. Those are your choices for the president of the United States. Those are the stooges. Okay. That's how you know it's a stooge because they're openly a criminal. Okay. They're not even hiding it from you. Anyway, so once again, I went back to that topic. Anyway, so we're going to look at a different stellium in Cohen's chart, and this is really interesting. I can't believe how powerful this chart is. Okay, so if you want to look at it, I wrote on the chart Chiron retrograde, North Node, Mars. Okay, all three are in Capricorn. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is drive, ambition, taking over, conquering, plotting, scheming. and never quitting. It's just ambition. That's what Capricorn is. He's got 3 pretty significant pieces of the pie in there. Okay, so he's got Chiron retrograde. Okay, think about this. Chiron retrograde. Chiron is, I almost want to say, like a Pisces energy. It's this like gentle healer, wants to help people, has a wound, can't heal it. He's in a lot of pain, but he still helps people. So it's this like really sweet Pisces kind of energy, caring, empathetic, trying to get over its wounds, and when hope, maybe he can't get over his wounds. I mean, that's debatable. But if he does get over his wounds, he'll be a great healer. So that's the archetype of Chiron. And this Chiron retrograde. And what I get when I look it up, retrograde means reflective or past life. Okay. So retrograde, really, it means it appears to be moving backwards in the sky. But I feel that the energetic implication of retrograde is generally you're dealing with like a past life issue or like a past trauma or something that's like still eating away at you. I'm just like, think of that as an energy, that kind of like regretful, reflective energy. Just look at it as like a feeling. Okay. So this is a wounded healer who's very reflective about, he's being very affected by his past. Okay. This person is Napoleon. I can't believe it. Every day I can't believe it. Every day I can't deny it. This is Napoleon. Napoleon was slowly murdered in the cruelest, like the cruelest murder. How could there be a crueler murder than what they did to Napoleon? Napoleon is so wounded in his past life. And I can't even deal with it. I mean, anyone can hear me reading the memoirs. I'm crying just thinking about it, just what they did to him. And that's why I do it. And I cry through it and I read them because I want everyone to know what my current enemy's dynasty did to Napoleon. You know, I'm Madame Lavalette. I'm saying, you don't do that to him. That's a good person. How dare you? You know, I'm that person from the past saying, I know what these people are. They are, how could they do that to Napoleon? And, you know, they destroyed everybody else's lives as well. The story of Napoleon is the story of that banking dynasty destroying everybody's life. And you can see how beautiful life is in the beginning. Okay? It's beautiful. The dynasty was going to be a fairyland. It was going to be a new age. Oh, but that banking dynasty can't have that. Okay? And they sent all of their people in to destroy all of their lives. And many of them died. Many of them, these lives were destroyed. So that's really the story of Napoleon, is a story of that banking dynasty destroying everybody's life. Oh, guess what that banking dynasty just did again? They destroyed everybody's life. So when I won't stop and I get back to the topic, it's because I can't watch them destroy my life and everyone else's life anymore. Anyway, so I'm so grateful to see so much power in Cohen's chart because my point is he has 3 planets in Capricorn, and I don't want to drag this out too much. I think I did make my point. The wounded healer about the past life could be Napoleon. That's a Napoleon energy because he was such a kind, empathetic, good person. And Cohen is too. And I admit fully, I totally misunderstood Cohen's. I didn't think his name was true at all. At all. So they both have this thing where you don't quite appreciate how good they are. I will say that. I will definitely say that because Cohen's always talking about what a terrible person he is. So I'm like, I believe you. You know, it's hard to see what a good person is under. But I thought about this. People who are underneath it good care about their morals. He's really saying in his songs that he doesn't feel he's very moral and he feels terrible about it. That's because he is actually moral. You know, it's hard to imagine anyone being moral, you know, but he's actually moral. I don't expect anyone in his environment to be moral in the least, okay? That's just my perception, but he does have morals. So if he has morals, there may be others. I have very low expectations, please. This is not, I have low expectations and have been taught to have them. So I'll have better expectations when I see better behavior. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I do ramble on, do I not? Anyway, so Mars in Capricorn is at the head of this stellium, and Mars in Capricorn is super powerful and never quits. And Napoleon's Mars was in Virgo, aligned with Pisces, Neptune, aligned with Neptune. So Napoleon's Mars was compared to Cohen wimpy. He has a lucky trine. It's on the post if you want to look at Napoleon's chart also, if you can see what I'm talking about. Napoleon was obviously a great warrior and he was very powerful, but Cohen's more powerful. He's more powerful and his destiny's in government. I mean, it's really funny. And Napoleon's destiny was not in government. It's really funny. Let's look at this Napoleon chart just to have a laugh. Okay, let's go at Napoleon's Capricorn because Napoleon like revolutionized government and law and banking. He's Pluto in Capricorn. It's funny, Pluto in Capricorn. It's funny, and he has his moon in Capricorn. That's not a good place for it. That's really funny. Anyway, so Cohen is poised to become greater than Napoleon according to this chart. He hasn't even gotten started yet. That's really exciting. And his north node, which is a point in the orbit of the moon, and what that means is it's where he's headed. His destiny is in Capricorn. It's incredible. So he has a big mission in structures and banking and administration and ambitions, and yeah, he has a great promise to fulfill. And the chart is accurate everywhere else because everything's pointing to him as a musician. Because, as I mentioned yesterday, he has Venus and Neptune in Libra. I can't think of anything that would be more perfect for a musician and an artist and an enchanter. And also, I have to say, Venus and Neptune, a twin flame. That's the twin flame. So everything's pointing to this same energy. This is his way out. This is where he shines. This is where he has all his power. Right there at this very like beautiful, spiritual, dreamy, artistic place. And he nobody can do that like he can. He's the best at being Neptune and Venus in Libra. And it's not always easy, that's for sure. But sometimes it is easy, and he has a perfect aspect with that Mars in Capricorn. So he has like all the power in the world because he has that Venus and Neptune in Libra, and then he has Mars in Capricorn with his North Node there, denoting destiny. And he has the wounded healer in there. He's a great healer. He's going to heal those institutions, and it's going to have something to do with his past as poor wounded Napoleon. It's so sad. And Cohen is so wounded. You have to wonder how much that's really from being Napoleon. He's unusually wounded. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a great destiny. And he has totally harmonious aspects on that Mars in Capricorn. Yeah, this is exciting. This is really exciting. So we'll revisit this again tomorrow and see what else we find, and then we'll look at Napoleon's chart because in another day, because we know what happened and we know everything that happened and we know his birth time, so we can really get in there and see what happened with Napoleon and really learn about astrology because he has Pluto in Capricorn. Yeah, I want to look at it and say it right, but just to throw out a little tidbit about how incredible astrology is. Okay, what do we know about Napoleon? Hopefully we know a couple things, right? He had a reversal of fortune. Okay. So where is the reversal of fortune? It's in his chart. He has Pluto in the second house. Okay, Pluto in the second house. Second house is money and values. And it's a Taurus, like a Taurus kind of space. He has Pluto there. Okay, there's your reversal of fortune. Pluto is transformation, death, and rebirth. So he became very rich very quickly, and he lost all his money very quickly in the second house of money. Okay, fine. So, in what constellation? In Capricorn. That can be banking. That can further accentuate that. He also had a reversal of fortune as a creator of government. It's right there. And then there's a opposition with Venus. Okay, so that's a difficult aspect with Venus. What brought him down? His second wife, Venus, a woman. A woman brought him down. Yeah. A Gemini, and she was fake. You know, she was a two-faced. Think of it, Gemini. She was she was fooling him. It's right there in the chart. I just want to throw that out. I always think of that when I look at Napoleon's chart. I'm like, oh, there's his reversal of fortune right there. It was love. Love killed Napoleon, and It's so sad. Love killed him, and they set him up to be killed by love, and they do those things over and over and over again. That's how they do it. They try to kill us with love, kill us with the things that we want, and tie us down and guilt us and do everything to destroy our lives. And they put so much attention into figuring out how to rip our lives apart at the psychological level. It's so cruel. It's so monstrous what these people do to our lives. And they try to get in our heads. They try to give us partners that are our worst enemy. They do all kinds of things to trap us because they're so scared of our humanity and our freedom that they have to constantly clamp down on us. And it's wrong. So let's read a letter by Napoleon. So Napoleon is furious because Josephine's clearly having an affair on him as he's taking over Italy. So I'll read this letter. I arrive at Milan. I rush to your apartment. I've left everything to see you, to press you in my arms. You are not there. You run from town to town after the fetes. You leave as I'm about to arrive. You do not concern yourself about your dear Napoleon anymore. It was a caprice that caused you to love him. Inconstancy makes him indifferent to you. Accustomed to dangers, I know the remedy for the ennui and the evils of life. The ill fortune I experience is beyond reckoning. I should have been exempt. I shall be here until the evening of the 9th. Do not put yourself out. Run the round of pleasures. Happiness is made for you. The whole world is only too happy if it can please you. Your husband alone is very, very unhappy. It's interesting because he does have an afflicted Venus. He did not have a good time with relationships, and it is reflected in his chart. Let's look at Cohen's memoirs. I find that the voice is pretty much the same. I don't know what you think, but that's what I'm getting. So this is the very early days of Cohen in London, and they're moving to a nicer place. Allow me to continue, please. The 60s had arrived. Everything in the kitchen suddenly seemed up to date and shiny. Our dwelling even had a newfangled name, Maisonette. We now lived in one of the 4 compact apartments per building, arranged in 3 cul-de-sacs, ours bearing an actual French name, Beaulieu Close, just to add to the mystique, even though all the residents pronounced it Bewley, as to rhyme with Anthony Newley. There were perhaps 8 of these buildings, and each close. Saplings were planted on small shared lawns to avoid anything as vulgar as a garden fence, a washing line, or a game of football springing up. It was pleasant and clean, but you can't plant a sense of community quite like the one portrayed in an architect's sketch. These were homes for professional people, most of them childless. I could look up from my breakfast bowl and, as regular as clockwork, see them leave for work, clutching attache cases or rolled umbrellas like patrolling sentries. One was an accountant, another was a scientist of some kind, with a Finnish wife who scandalized the neighbors by lying outside her door in a bikini at the first sight of sunshine. An older, retired Czech couple might well have been spies. For all we knew, they were unnaturally good-natured and kind. As my dad said, spies would obviously be if trying to pass in polite society. I just have to stop it right there. He knew. That is so funny. The worst people are the ones who are too nice, okay? They're being too nice, watch out. Okay, so many warnings tonight. But see, I have Saturn in the 3rd house of Cancer. See, that's that Saturn, okay? But I'm going to work on it, okay? Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great evening.